Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we head to the East Brunswick High School for National Signing Day, as two student athletes sign their letter of intent for college. Then the Philadelphia Zoo visits the East Brunswick Public Library with some very special guests to educate children about habitats and how humans can affect them. Then Mayor David Stahl brings us a brand new business spotlight with the ribbon cutting of Advanced Auto Parts. The Central Jersey Business Alliance and the East Brunswick Public Library's Business Resource Center partnered up to host Let Us Show You the Money, a panel discussion of financial experts. All this plus a special edition of Voice of Experience. So stay with us.
Well, today's National Signing Day for athletes throughout the country, and we're privileged today to have a young lady, Gabby Kelleher, who just signed her softball commitment to attend Marist. Congratulations, well deserved. Player of the Year last year, you hold a gazillion school records for us. So with all that being said, why Marist? What made you choose Marist?
Marist seems like a good fit both academically and athletically. They're a good school and they have a good softball program. Also, my older sister attended Marist and she really liked it. She got a good job afterwards. She made a lot of good connections there. So I felt it would be a good place for me also.
Good. And what about your major? What's your thoughts on a major? And I know it's very difficult, but are you considering anything right now?
Well, I'm actually going in undeclared, but I'm leaning towards science and I might want to do veterinary medicine, but not sure yet.
That's excellent. That's excellent. The recruiting process for the young kids out there, the sophomores, the juniors, and actually the freshmen too. Tell us when it started and give us a brief little synopsis of how it happened.
It started probably around sophomore year when I played travel softball in the summer. So I played 18U Golds, which is showcases. You email a lot of coaches and they come to see you play, and sophomore year you kind of just like feel around and like email a lot of different coaches, and then junior year I narrowed my list down to fewer schools, and then I really got more schools that I wanted to go to come, and then you go to visit them, and then if it continues from there, and then you can get the offer. I started playing when I was probably about 4 years old, T-ball for East Brunswick. And then at 8 years old, we started the East Brunswick travel team. And then a couple years later, I did another travel team called Central Jersey Lightning, and that's more traveling and more intense. And then when I went to 18U Gold, I played for the Jersey Flames, and we travel like all up and down the East Coast and go to various tournaments to get exposures for our colleges. We just want to improve upon last year, where we did pretty well, but not as well as we would have wanted. So hopefully this year we'll just do better.
Okay, well, Gabby, congratulations to you and your parents. I know they're very proud of you, as we are, and best of luck.
Thank you.
And again, we're still here at National Signing Day, and we have first ever at East Brunswick. As far as I know, we have a fencer, Mr. Jonathan Fitzgerald, has signed his letter of commitment to go to Notre Dame as a fencer. John, congratulations, well deserved. I know your family's here. I know they're proud of you, and we certainly at East Brunswick are. John, tell us first of all, why Notre Dame? What was the determining factor in attending Notre Dame?
Well, to be honest, when I was considering colleges, I never really had Notre Dame at the forefront of my college decision process. It was always one of the schools I was definitely going to consider, but I was considering others, over it. But when I was still making my decision, I was invited to go on an official visit. And when I went, I was thinking, it'll be a fun weekend. It'll just be a really interesting experience. And after I came back, I fell in love with the school. It was just the atmosphere that's provided there. Like, everyone is so friendly and welcoming, and it's just such a warm community that is like nowhere else that I've ever seen before in my life. So I just fell in love with that aspect.
Good. And what made you get started in fencing? Is it a family thing or just something you picked up?
Well, I always used to play team sports when I was younger. I played soccer and basketball, but I would always get annoyed when my team would lose and I had played really well, or I wouldn't get the ball that game or whatever. So I was really not interested in them too much. But after my mom saw an article in the newspaper for a local fencing club. And she said, why don't you try it? You know, you need to play sport. And so I said, okay. And then after my first lesson, I fell in love with, you know, the sport of fencing, and I moved on from there. Well, for fencing, and the NCAA rule is that after July 1st is when coaches can start coming up to you in person of your before your senior year in order to talk to you and like sell their school to you. So, but prior to that, you can email, and only the athlete can initiate. So, after the main competitive season over was about in February, I emailed a lot of coaches in around April and May, June, that kind of time, to just send to say I was interested. After my recruiting official visit, that's when I made my decision. But at nationals is when you basically talk to all the coaches. So I talked to the Notre Dame coach, and I just felt this amazing warmth and welcoming feeling when I was at Notre Dame. So that's what kind of sold it for me. I want to really major in political science program they have there is really strong, and they also have an international economics major that I was really, really interested in. For the collegiate level, Notre Dame is actually #1 in its fencing program right now, and this incoming recruiting class, all the coaches have been saying, is one of the strongest recruiting classes they've ever seen in the history of recruiting. We have 5 so far world team members, and across all weapons and genders.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that you'll be successful. You made East Brunswick proud. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations again.
The Philadelphia Zoo on Wheels program came to the East Brunswick Public Library recently to educate and entertain children.
So as a part of my job, I have the great pleasure of coming out to different schools and libraries, assemblies. We do corporate functions as a part of Zoo on Wheels. So we have a collection of over 100 animals that we take out, and we present different topics from conservation to habits, like we did today, habitats of the USA. We also do specific items like rainforest or desert dwellers. We do custom programs. We do birthday parties. We do a ton of stuff. Today I brought Fauna, a North American porcupine. I also brought a corn snake named Jersey. I brought a burrowing owl named Sage. Trying to remember all their names here. And then I also brought a 9-banded armadillo named Susie Q. Our biggest message that we always try to get across is that they can save energy to save wildlife. There's lots of things that we do as humans that we don't think affect animals, and we contribute to global warming and climate change. And we really want the kids to know there's simple things that they can do to help stop that. Today we focused on recycling and not throwing things in the trash or just on the street so that they don't end up all over our beaches or even in the water of the ocean, so that the animals don't confuse them with food.
These are from soda cans, right? And this is just a plastic bag. We get dozens of these every time we go to the supermarket. Guess what? They do eat them. And come here, since you said they eat them, come here. What happens, it gets stuck all over them, and even because they start off the size of an Oreo, hold on, I'm not finished. Get stuck right here again. There you go, get stuck, hold it right there. Because they start off the size of an Oreo cookie, they can fit through this a little bit. And what happens is they don't have hands to get it off, so they get stuck, and it starts growing. Their body keeps growing around it. So there's been turtles and even birds that have gotten stuck in this, and their body looks all deformed because they can't get it off of them. Do you know an easy way to stop this? Just break them apart. Can you try to break it apart? Try to break it apart. It's not that easy, is it? But it's easy enough because you did it after a little bit, right? That's right, good job. Another issue is that they're getting plastic bags. You can sit down now, thank you. Is they're getting plastic bags stuck on them, and even turtles think these plastic bags kind of floating in the water, they think they're jellyfish. There's a place on the West Coast called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. You'll find all different kinds of bottle tops and bags. It's like twice the size of Texas, Mr. Smarty Pants. Good job. Guess what? Because the animals around there see this stuff there all the time, they think it's a natural part of their habitat because they know that in their habitat, they're supposed to find food. But this stuff isn't food. Plastic bottle tops, they're not food.
My favorite part is when I see that kind of aha moment. I love when the kids see the animals and then they learn something new. I love to hear, like today, where the kids pretty much knew a lot about my animals before I even got them all the way out. And I love to see their energy, and I love to see them connect and make that empathy, connection with the animals to know that they can help them. So you can find more about the Zoo on Wheels presentations, and like I said, we go to corporate events, church events, we go to birthday parties, we go to pretty much any place that we're asked to, and you can find more about that at www.philadelphiazoo.org.
Hi, it's Mayor David Stahl with another edition of Business Spotlight. Today's another great day in East Brunswick. We're here at a new store opening, Advance Auto Parts, located on West Ferris between Route 18 and Old Bridge Turnpike. And I'm real happy to be joined by Morgan and David, two of the great leaders here of Advance Auto Parts. Morgan, this is a beautiful store. What led you to come into the East Brunswick market?
So when we go to look for a site, there's a couple of key attributes. Number one, location, obviously. What a great location at the corner of Ferris and Route 18. So that's number one. Number two, we need to make sure that we have the right demographics, the right population density. So East Brunswick was perfect for that. And then thirdly, we need to get into communities where the community is going to support us, especially the civic organizations and obviously your team. This is one of the fastest permitting, one of the most fluid and welcoming organizations that I've had the privilege of doing business with. So we look for great communities with great people with a great civic background.
Well, thank you for that kind words, and it's a mutual relationship. Your team did a wonderful job, from the contractors and all the planning work to opening the store in such a record time.
So yeah, thank you also, and truly that really set us up for success. It allowed us to really have great timelines for hiring great people, making sure that all the training was done, all the setup teams, so we were able to open on time, and especially with the great team and right here in East Brunswick.
David, you mentioned earlier not only about creating jobs, about creating careers. Let's talk a little more detail about that.
Absolutely. And Mayor, again, thank you for the opportunity also to be part of the community. We feel very, very strongly that two things help us differentiate. One, our people, and two, our service. And in my opinion, they very much go hand in hand. We believe in internal promotions. Those that know me the best know that one of my expressions are internal promotions are a beautiful thing. When we're able to give a individual an opportunity as a salesperson or as a mobile parts pro, one of our delivery folks, to help support and nurture their development, we have more than I could count general managers that have started their careers with Advance along those lines. And from a service standpoint, irregardless of the wonderful fact that we have over 4,000 stores, our objective with every customer in every community, large or small, is to build a customer for life and build that relationship for life.
I agree. We were talking about earlier, I owned a hardware store, and we know that a Stanley hammer is a Stanley hammer, and it's similar in auto part business. So I think it is the service that would differentiate you. How would you compare what you have to offer here at Advance Auto Parts to some of your competitors?
Well, I think that's a great question. One thing that I'm not going to do is speak ill of our competition, but I think what differentiates us, our people, and our ability to exceed our customers' expectation. As an example, much of our business and our growth is in the commercial aspect of our business. So if I'm a shop owner and I have a car on the lift and I need a part and I call Advance, I need two things. I need accurate and I need timely delivery, because as a shop owner, time is money, and we absolutely respect that. So I think what helps differentiate ourselves is being able to deliver that part in a timely and accurate manner to our customers who truly are our business partners, so that they don't lose time with that proverbial car sitting on the lift.
That's a great point, but then also there's another aspect for, let's say, the do-it-yourselfer who may need a little help, so to speak. I think one of the things that would be good with the fact that so many of your employees are those career professionals that you have here, I think that ability for them to talk about their expertise and guide the customer, I'm sure is very useful.
Yeah, so people don't come to Advance to browse. People come to Advance because they have some problems that they need solutions and they need help with. And in all of the hiring processes, we look for people with the motor technical background. A lot of our team members are ASE certified. We actually have a number of people who are former mechanics, former shop owners that at this point in their life and this stage of their career have decided to go the retail route. So they can get the best of both worlds. They can still follow their passion and they can help people. That's the other thing that we look for. We want people that are really into helping people, providing great solutions, and ultimately creating a customer for life.
Well, before we go into just the basics about your store, first I want to thank you on behalf of the community. I think it's fantastic that here at the store opening, you already presented a check to the Raritan Valley YMCA. I think that speaks really well of an organization who understands the value of the community.
Yeah, and to that end, you know, David mentioned that we are 4,000 strong, no doubt. But our objective is to grow big and stay small. And we stay small by being closely connected to the community. All of the team members reside within at least 5 to 10 miles. We actually have a number of East Brunswick residents working here. So we're very, very proud of that fact. We want to nurture the community. We want to grow big, stay small, and we want to do whatever we can to watch this community grow and attract more businesses as well. Competition's good for all of us.
I agree with that, and thank you. Let's again get to the basics. What are your store hours?
Our store hours are 7 days a week. We open at 7:30 in the morning. We close at 9 Monday through Saturday, and our Sunday hours are 9 until 6.
And for customers who want to reach out to on the telephone just to see if and ask questions,
we have that welcome opportunity to our customers to call. We can take them through pricing, part selection, inquiry over the phone. We'll gladly put a part on hold for the customer. We'll gladly be able to offer that transaction from start to finish over the phone. We also will invite our customers to shop online if for whatever reason it may not work for them situationally to be able to get into the store.
That's fantastic. Again, I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I will tell you, if the organization of how you ran your grand opening is any indication of how you serve your customers, it's fantastic. You did a great job here today. And again, I welcome you on behalf of the community to East Brunswick.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mayor. And also as an East Brunswick resident, it really is, a day like today really has a twofold benefit. It's our professional privilege, but it's also from a personal standpoint. Living here for 8 years, even though I'm a South Jersey guy prior to, it's a great place to be.
We're glad to have you. Again, it's Mayor David Stahl. As we always like to say, we shop local, we shop East Brunswick, and here's another opportunity because pretty much all of us own a vehicle of some sort, and unfortunately there's always issues with cars in terms of everyday maintenance, just the problems that may occur. So I'd encourage you to come up to Advance Auto Parts on West Ferris between Route 18 and Old Bridge Turnpike and let the Advance Auto Parts team take care of you. Again, thanks for watching.
I'm Mary Ellen Firestone, the director of the East Brunswick Public Library, and I'm here this evening with Ken Friedman, Dr. Ken Friedman, who is the incoming president of the Central Jersey Business Alliance. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you, Mary Ellen.
And we're very excited this evening. We are collaborating on a panel discussion. We're trying this out as a pilot program for the library's Business Resource Center and the Central Jersey Business Alliance to come together and offer our residents panels of experts in different fields, and tonight's field is financial. So I'm going to let Ken talk a little bit about who we invited to be with us this evening.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. The Central Jersey Business Alliance is one of the most rapidly growing business organizations in the Central New Jersey region. We include a number of local business owners, professionals, and service professionals who are working together to be able to support one another to achieve their business goals while also improving the quality of life in the Central New Jersey area. For our pilot program tonight, we're including a number of topics that people will find of great interest, especially during the challenging financial times that people are experiencing these days. We're going to be talking about mutual funds and the rule of 72, about credit and what it means to you, as well as the housing market today. Many people have questions about that as well, and we have local experts that are going to be here this evening that are going to be spending time not only presenting for about 10 minutes each, but also fielding questions to be able to answer some of the specific concerns that the attendees have this evening. Our financial panel of experts tonight includes Bob Scherzer, who's Vice President of Investments at Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, Angie Serkis, Vice President, Business Development Officer of Northfield Bank, Ellen McHenry, Senior Director of Financial Programs, UCEDC, a nonprofit economic development corporation, Stanley Perlman, Investment Advisor Representative, Division Leader from Primerica Financial Services Incorporated, and Beverly Lyons, a Sales Associate at Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage.
So what I'm going to try to do tonight in 10 minutes is just make a little sense of how we pick mutual funds, what may be the best for you.
So let me ask, do we have any small business owners in the room here? Anybody who's looking to start a small business? Okay. Yes, credit's going to affect you with business loans, but this is also going to affect your personal life, how credit affects you getting dollars. Unless you're prepared to pay cash for everything, your credit score is going to make that determination how you can get dollars and what interest rates you're going to pay.
So the next few minutes I'm going to talk about how money works. And to give you a perspective, before you look at the rule of 72, most people, if you played a game, if I was going to sit here and say to you, let's play a game, what's one of the first things you would ask me? What are the rules? How do we play? Okay? And because you want to be in the game, you want to know what you have to do and how to do it. Okay? But we all have money. If you go out to the store and you bought a radio, what's it come with? It comes with a manual. You buy a car, it comes with a manual. Okay? You go to Ken's chiropractor, he gives you some information about what it means. Get a paycheck, doesn't come with a manual. So you don't learn how money works. And if you don't learn how money works, how can you be in the game about how money works? How can you have your money work for you as hard as you work for your money?
Thanks, Ken. Thanks for that great information. And I just want to mention that tonight's program is being sponsored, refreshments are being sponsored, and those are so important, by our local new House of Cupcakes in East Brunswick. So I hope that everyone will go and have a little taste. I think you'll enjoy this show, and the nice thing is it will be available streaming on our local cable station, EBTV. And I want everyone to be sure to check our other programs, our future programs. You can always check our website for programs at the library, and also what is streaming on EBTV. So thanks for joining us.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley Morosi, Assistant Director for the East Brunswick Department on Aging, and this is the Voice of Experience. Today I'm speaking with Dale Ofeaisi. Dale is here today to speak about cultural diversity. This program is actually the culmination of our year-long celebration of the 150th anniversary of the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. So Dale, tell us, why talk about cultural diversity?
I think one of the biggest reasons is that our country is growing more diverse every day. We have people representing nations from all over the world, particularly older adults who are coming over to this country with their children, with their older children and their grandchildren, and really enriching our history. So it behooves all of us to understand that we will probably be living next door to, shopping with, going to church with, getting to know people that we may have never grown up with before because of how diverse our state is and our country in general.
And one of the things that COPES has been asked to do over the years, specifically me and one of my coworkers, is to talk about cultural competence. Why that's so important to understand, especially as you're working with older adults and their families. Because most older adults, again, they're first generation, or their parents, their grandparents have come from other cultures. And culture is something, it's a way of life. It's our values, our traditions, our mores, our practices, all those things that make up who we are, that we normally learn from our families, from our communities that we grew up in, and become a part of us, whether we're conscious of them or not. And it can influence a lot of things in our life, everything from how we view the world, to who we marry, to how we raise our children, how we care for our parents, our jobs, all those things, the food we eat, the music we hear, all those things can be influenced by what we learned as we were growing up.
Now, I noticed in your program today that you had some ideas, some techniques for people to use if they were struggling with a stereotype or a prejudice. What would you offer to our audience about that?
I would say that for one's own sense of self and self-esteem, that we should never suffer that in silence. And there are ways to respond when somebody or a group of people that we're talking to may say something hurtful or demeaning. We can, without getting angry necessarily, share with them that I know you may not have meant what you said, but when you said this statement, it made me feel hurt. You can literally walk away, and that makes a statement. That says a statement. Or you can say, not everyone represents what you're saying, or not everyone feels the way you do, and that it's very hurtful. Or as one of the programs on dealing with stereotypes said, just say, ouch, that hurt. We can respond and say something without ourselves being angry and upset, but it also makes a statement, and again, it helps you feel a better sense of yourself when you do stand up and say, I'm a worthwhile human being. I'm more than a stereotype.
Well, Dale, I thank you so much for being here today, for sharing your expertise, and we look forward to the next time you come to visit at the Senior Center. If you would like more information about programs and services available through the East Brunswick Department on Aging, then please call us at 732-390-6896. And please remember, the East Brunswick Department on Aging is here to help you and yours age successfully.